aware these days, the pretense of offering relief, the Israeli state, with full backing from the United States, has turned humanitarian aid in Gaza into a trap. The new aid effort, which was promoted as a lifeline, has instead become an instrument of death, dangling a carrot before desperate, starving people, only for the carrots to end up being replaced by bullets. It isn't an aid scheme, it's a mechanism for population control, displacement and extermination, and the man seen as instrumental in its setup is now seen as the main perpetrator across Gaza. If Donald Trump's envoy Steve Witkoff was hoping to be remembered as a peace negotiator and humanitarian, he has a very funny way of showing it. The deadly attacks at aid distribution sites in Rafah and elsewhere are now referred to by Palestinians as the Witkoff Massacre, laying bare the monstrous abuse of power and good faith that Witkoff has spent, having fronted the ceasefire proposal and the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, the GHF. He's no longer seen as a diplomat, but as little more than a butcher and a simp. The aid programme has become a coordinated killing of desperate civilians near aid distribution points, representing not just a war crime, but a brutal culmination of Israel's genocidal intent in Gaza, now seen to have been aided and abetted in that by Witkoff, a man purportedly sent to broker peace, who has instead been instrumental in perpetuating violence. Also having offered up a ceasefire Israel could accept only because it promised no peace at all, and resulting in Hamas, of course, refusing it, with all of the media fallout and blame that immediately attracted. But you don't need to take my word for this. Amidst the overwhelming evidence of premeditated harm, because a testimony from Euromed Human Rights Monitor is possibly the most damning description of Israel's aid abuse going, and others from Gaza's own doctors who described the trauma unfolding in clinics stripped of even basic resources in order to treat people who came looking for aid and found only death and destruction. Right, so the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, the GHF, heavily backed by the US and spearheaded by Steve Witkoff, has featured in a number of my recent videos. The starvation of the people of Gaza, arguably now their biggest enemy over and above Israel. But only Israel and this US administration could possibly find a way to combine those two dangers and turn not just the starvation, but the delivery of the aid itself into a weapon as well.